We are back. It's gonna be a long chapter, a long video. I'm gonna have it in 2 or 3 parts. So in 2 Chronicles 36 verses 20 and 21, divine judgment for ignoring Jubilee. So he carried into exile to Babylon the remnant who escaped from the sword. The land enjoy its Sabbath rest. All the time of its desolation it rested until the 70 years were completed in fulfillment of the word of the spoken by Jeremiah. Jeremiah. Um, Let me read that again. All the time of its desolation it rested until the 70 years were completed in fulfillment of the word of the Lord spoken by Jeremiah. The prophet Jeremiah warned them, honor the Sabbath years. Honor the Sabbath years. Observe the Jubilee. Release your slaves. Cancel the debts. They refuse. They got comfortable with inequality. They got used to holding what didn't belong to them. So God did the accounting himself. And the reason why God sent us into slavery for 400 years is because we were disobedient. We didn't keep his rules, his commitment. God freed us from Egypt, but we still didn't understand. We still didn't respect his law. His law. Continue. 70 years of exile for 70 neglected Sabbath years. That is not coincidence, that is divine accounting. God was keeping track of every single year they owe him. Every single jubilee they refused to honor. And when the bill came due, they pay with everything they had. The counting begins with the Exodus 146 BC. No, 1446 BC, sorry. Per conservative biblical scholars, the Israelites entered the promised land 40 years later. Formal Jubilee tracking started with the settlement of tribal territories. The first Jubilee fell in the late 1300 BC. From there, every 50 years, like clockwork, God's economic reset was to happen. Biblical chronologists and rabbinical scholars have tracked these cycles for centuries, while debates exist about exact starting points. One method has produced results no accurate. It has predicted major world events. The evidence coverage is coverage on 2026. So let's speak about the wealth transfer. Trillions of dollars in black wealth have been stolen, not lost, stolen, to 400 years of unpaid labor. The burning of Tulsa, redlining, predatory lending, every system designed to ensure what your ancestors built will never reach your hands. And all that time, God has a system in a place to restore every single thing, every dollar, every acre, every generation of stolen labor. It's called Jubilee. If God kept that precise of an accounting of ancient Israel to you, do you think that he has lost count for the people stolen from Africa? Do you think he stopped tracking the years of unpaid labor? The stolen land, the broken families, the burned communities, the triggered systems. God's calendar never stop. The counting never stop. Why they never wanted you to know that? Jubilee was specifically designed to prevent the concentration of wealth into the hands of a few. Every time land accumulated in powerful families, Jubilee broke it up. Every time debt slavery became entrenched, Jubilee shattered the chains. It was divine for our world against permanent inequality. And that's why I don't let me stop here, because I don't know if you see what's going on right now in the world. You can be the nicest person. Once you started speaking about God, sharing the word of God, you get attacked, you lose your job, you cannot speak about Jesus. Because Jesus came, like I said before, he didn't come to start a religion. He came to break the chains. That's why, as a Haitian blood, I never been okay when they told me, oh, they got the freedom from the slave, from the voodoo, from the enemy. The enemy never give you freedom. God, Jesus come to give you freedom. Because once you start reading the word of God, your spiritual eyes are open. You can no longer, your soul, everything. Now you see clearly. You can no longer be this person who is blind. And that's why I said there's no school of wisdom, of discernment. The school of wisdom is in the word of God, is in spending time with him, is in building a relationship with him. It's in raising an altar with him. So when you see that you love God so much, you want to keep his command, you get so much attacked spiritually, even you don't see nobody, but your mind, you get so many distraction. When you want to read the word, you have to do that, you have to do another thing. This is when you have so many things, your phone is ringing. That's the attack. And if it's not spiritual attack mentally, it's gonna be physically. People who are against you, the enemy is using, because the soul is so weak, they don't spend time in the word of God. So the body, God cannot use the body as his temple, so the enemy is using the body to do destruction into God's children. So within a few generations, all land is owned by a handful of families. We see that it's going on, and everyone else is in perpetual servitude. Sound familiar, right? Today we're living that. That is exactly what happened when Jubilee was abandoned. That is exactly that the world live in today. A system so powerful, so dangerous to the wealthy, that entire empires work to bury it, to make sure you never heard about it, never connected the dots between what God's promised and what was stolen from you. So that's what I wanted to share today. I think that's why I don't spend too much time in going back, reading, fighting for um for politics issue, because I know what we're fighting right now. It's very spiritual. It's prophecies, and this is the year of Jubilee. It's the year for God to set everything that was stolen, to give it back. Give them back. Slavery can no longer stay. We have longer things to do. So let's speak about DNA claim for Black people, especially African American. Some proponents of Hebrew Israelite identity point to genetic studies showing West African and African Americans populations carrying haplogroups, particularly Y DNA, E1B1A, and certain mitochondrial DNA or mitochondrial DNA lines that are also found among population with documented historical connection to the ancient Near East. They argue the genetic markers indicate ancestral